So, to give a little bit of a background, I have always been a bigger, heavier girl. I remember being in, I feel like it was 10th grade, and I went to the doctor and I weighed 293 pounds at that time. Shortly thereafter, I started losing weight. I've always been an athlete, so I've always been athletic. So the way that I present on the scale is not how I look in real life. Like I could look really smaller and more fit than I do when I'm actually on a scale. So I remember it shocking me. I remember crying. I remember writing in my diary about being 293 pounds. And then I tried the best that I could to change things, but I didn't know, about eating and how food can affect different things. All I knew is I was hungry. I was constantly going to either track practice or basketball practice or doing different things. So I was always hungry. Fast forward, I went to Florida State. I was a Division I athlete there on a track and field team. I did shot put, discus, but my specialty was in the weight and hammer throw. So my competing weight was anywhere between 235 to 250 pounds. It just fluctuated. I never really got on the scale that much. All I knew was my coaches wanted me to be in a certain shape, to be strong, to be able to throw things far, and I did what I needed to do. But my journey to actual weight loss the way that I wanted wasn't until after I graduated from law school. So like about 2014, 2013, 2014, I lost a substantial amount of weight, like at least 60 to 80 pounds through Weight Watchers. I was able to keep that off for a few years, but then last year I kind of hit a low. But I'm gonna go ahead and insert some pictures here of what I looked like when I started slimming down. So I started slimming down. I felt great about myself. I was able to wear whatever I wanted to wear. But the crazy thing is that even when I got smaller, I still felt huge. I learned now that it's called like body dysmorphia or something like that, where you feel like you're the same size that you were, even though you're substantially smaller. But I was constantly on myself about, weight. I was boxing because I love boxing and kickboxing. Like I said, I've always been an athlete, so I've always been active. That's never been an issue for me. But back when I lost that weight, for those years that I kept it off, I was literally getting on the scale every single day. There was not anything that I put into my body, whether it was drinking something or eating something, that I did not know what the calorie content was or the points were, since I was on Weight Watchers. So I planned all of my meals. And I would even venture to say that I did have bulimia, I believe, undiagnosed, but I sometimes would binge eat. If I got really upset or frustrated about something, I would just eat a whole bunch of food, and then I would feel guilty about it and I would throw it up. And then the next day I would just try to exercise just as hard or eat right. So it definitely was, although I was losing weight, I did not have a healthy relationship with food at all. It was just kind of like, just not healthy. So I started gaining some of the weight back. Definitely last year, I was in a relationship with an individual who I had intended on marrying. As some of you guys know, I called that relationship off. I ended the engagement and I just cut ties and communications with that person, period, because it was a toxic relationship. And I found myself eating a lot. He was a heavier dude. I love big men, so he was a heavier dude. We were always eating at crazy times of night. And then also, like, I just felt really sad in the relationship. I didn't feel attractive. I didn't feel loved. I did not feel respected. And the only way for me to really deal with my feelings or my emotions, since I couldn't talk to him about it productively without there being an argument or without there being some sort of craziness attached to it, I just ate. And I felt myself gaining the weight. I felt myself like gaining and gaining. but I've not stepped on a scale to this day to tell you even how much I weigh now, because I don't want to go back to the same ways that I felt before with my relationship with food and being on the scale. I just want to feel good about my body. So now what I've been doing is just really being intentional about what I tell myself, my inner thoughts, my inner talk. I try to make that positive, because growing up my whole life, when you hear you need to lose weight, you need to be skinny, that's how you'll get a man, and this, and that. And now me being the size that I am and not having any issues getting a man at all, I just said I have to change the way that I feel about myself. And if I love big men, so I know that there's some people out there that love big women. I date those people, but at the same time, I want to feel good about myself. So I've started to practice a lot of self-care. I've kept up with my hair a lot. I have shopped a little bit more to fit my new body, because my old clothes don't really fit. And just this past weekend, I was invited to a water park. Growing up, I didn't really go to water parks. I didn't even go to the pool like that unless I had a huge shirt over me. Like, I never was the type that had a bikini or anything like that growing up. So even with me gaining the weight that I did, I made a challenge to myself that when I go to this theme park, I'm going to feel good about myself, and I'm going to walk around this park in a bikini. I don't care what people say or think. I had to have the confidence in myself. So I'm very proud. And I'll insert a picture here of the bikini, not in the water park, but the bikini that I did have on. It was a high-waisted one. So here's the picture of that. So I didn't really have much of an intention for this video other than to just say that I'm working on my own body positivity, my own confidence. And if you are working on that too, join in the journey with me. Or if you have any tips or advice on how to make it through, on how to just love yourself no matter what size or shape you are, please leave a comment and let me know, because I definitely want to hear more from you. I want to know. I know that I'm not alone in this journey.